Tinashe. I see a lot of names actually. I hope everyone is good. I hope everyone is well. Mabel, you have your hand up. Do you have a question? Anything that you want to know? If we could all turn on our cameras like the beautiful Asipe and beautiful Onte, I would be so happy, guys. It would make my day. Thanks, Loris. I appreciate that. You do look a bit familiar, Mr. Loris. Cool. All right. Let's just get started. I hope everyone is good. I hope everyone is well. So this webinar is going to be quite short and brief. I will go through just a little bit of introduction and explain what Melsoft Academy is all about, what you can expect from the bootcamp, and I will leave a lot of room for question and answers. So the main goal of this is for you to get all your questions answered. So I hope you invited your parents. For those of you that need parents, I hope you invited your husbands or your wives, those that help you in making the decision. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly share my screen. Please just let me know if you can see my screen. Please, can I just get a thumbs up on the chat? Okay, I see Loris with a thumbs up. Nontando has a hand up. Nontando, you wanna say something? You've got a question? Okay, I think you're trying to thumbs up as well. I saw you today, Nontando, but you didn't greet me. Okay, cool. So welcome to Melsoft Academy. So the main goal, the main reason we will explain later, but Melsoft Academy is all about one thing and one thing only, which is to kickstart your tech career in the shortest amount of time possible. And based on the number of students that we've had and the industry research that we've had, the optimal time is between 6 to 12 months. It doesn't need to take you 4 years anymore, guys. It does not need to take you 4 years to get into the tech industry. All you need are 6 good months of high quality focus, dedication, and you'll be able to make it. So I just got a reminder that there are people waiting on TikTok. So please just give me 1 quick minute to set those people up. Whilst we're waiting, Loris can just say something.
Hello, everybody. My name is Loris, and I'm the co-founder here at Melsoft Academy. It's so good to see some of you guys on the call. There's some people that I've been talking to almost regularly. Mosa, wink, wink. And it's good to see also current students as well, some mentors here. Yeah, I'm hearing what Mr. Larreth has for us, but all I can say is you guys are very much in safe hands. And please ask as many questions as possible. We're trying to get as many questions from you guys as possible. That's what the whole gist of an open day is. So if you hear anything that prompts a question out of you, please ask. And then at the end, we're gonna have a big Q&A session. And usually the people who ask the most questions are the ones that make it in the end. So as many questions as possible. And we wish I wish that this was an in-person open day, because it would have been so nice to like show you campus and walk around and everything. But hopefully when you enroll, you'll be able to come one of these days. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this meeting and this chat. So remember, guys, ask as many questions as possible. Okay. Awesome.
A word from Tinashe.
Why did he put me in the spotlight? All right. I'm Tinashe. I'm the head instructor for cybersecurity here at Melsoft. If you guys obviously have any questions whatsoever pertaining the cybersecurity or obviously any of the other boot camps as we proceed along, just do ask. I'm obviously reachable at any point in time, so I'm the most accessible person there is. So let's have a wonderful day, and I also look forward to hearing some of your questions.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Just one more minute, guys. Cool. Sorry about that, guys. I hope everyone is still around. Thank you so much for waiting. So, yes, let's just get started straight into the open day. So, in this meeting of ours, we're going to go through a few things. Firstly, the mission, why we started it. I'm sure you can see that most of us here at Melsoft Academy, we are very young, and you will see the rest of the team later. It's a very young team, and we started Academy quite recently. And we'll also give you a little bit background on our company as well as our team. Then we'll let you know how it works, how the actual bootcamp works, how we manage to guarantee internships, right? It's not every day that you come across an academy or a school that guarantees you jobs. Our course curriculum, what you'll actually learn in our boot camps, the career opportunities that await for you, as well as a little bit of a brief tour of our learning platform. And like I mentioned, we will reserve most of the time for questions. So if you've got a question, you can ask during the presentations. I don't mind, or you can wait until the end. So whatever works best for you, please do let me know. Okay. So to start with our little background and our mission, the reason why we started. So initially, we own a software dev company, and I'll explain how the dev company works. I think if you just Google Melsoft, you'll be able to see us. Some of the people on this call, like McKechnie, I don't know if it's Guy or it's Gene, but that was actually one of our clients for Booklidio. Um, yeah, we own a dev house, and in our dev house, we were seeing a big issue was that we would struggle to hire the right developers, right? And we also saw something quite unique amongst the African continent specifically is there are so many youths that do not have jobs. So for us, it was like, oh, it's Guy's mom. Oh, great to have you. So for us, it was like, there are so many people that don't have jobs. And then at the same time, in IT specifically, there are so many open positions that we were struggling to fill, right? And we tried a lot of things to fill that gap. For example, working with people that are employed. So they would work a 9 to 5, then they'll give us their 5 to 9, which never really worked for us. And the ultimate solution for us was to create a curriculum, create a course, create something that can take someone who's hungry, someone who's determined, maybe 6 months or 12 months of their time, and they'll be able to come into our school. So that was the solution. It's solving two problems at the same time. And you will see that in Melsoft Academy, 80% of the people that work at Melsoft Academy or at Melsoft have gone through the boot camp. Tinashe is an exception because we saw Tinashe, we were like, oh my goodness, this guy is amazing. He didn't go through our boot camp, but we love him, right? But the majority is we hire people that come from our boot camp. And as we were operating, we saw that we were not the only ones facing this problem. So that's when we decided to make it a fully fledged business and move away from just operating on the agency alone, right? And in terms of our company background, so Melsoft actually started from a college dorm room when other people were looking for jobs. I was like, you know what, let me start something, right? Because I've always had the entrepreneurial flair, and my parents are also entrepreneurs. So for me, there was nowhere else to go. So we started off just doing graphic design, and it grew. One client led to 3, led to 5, led to 10, and we then decided to master software development. And only 2 years after starting our journey, we were named as one of the top software development companies in South Africa by Clutch and the Manifest. That couldn't have been made possible without a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and just sheer hard work. And our team continued to grow. Then in 2022, that's when we were so fed up with the problem of not being able to hire developers and seeing our age mates struggle to get jobs. So that's when we launched Melsoft Academy. And a little caveat, as you can see, is we incorporated in America. Now, the reason behind America and why we love bringing it up a lot is America is the biggest market for software developers in the world. Currently, America is short of 700,000 developers. 700K are needed. Not even India and its 1 billion people can fill the demand of developers in America. And at this moment, we are looking for a developer in America. Loris will tell you how difficult that has been for us to do right now. So our goal, our plan, and everything that we plan always comes to life because of God. We're a Christian family, Christian company, Christian values. Our goal is to make sure that we train people here in South Africa, train you and give you the work experience that you need here in South Africa before we ship you to America, right? Because America will pay you guys the biggest salaries, and who doesn't want to earn dollars whilst they're chilling on a beach in Cape Town? Who doesn't want that, right? So that's what we're trying to do. But the biggest challenge for that to happen, you guys need to get the skills. That's our challenge. We need to get you guys the right skills, the right work experience, and make sure that you are world class. Because once you start working with American companies, you can't be average. You don't want to be average in that sort of a situation. So this is a little bit of our background and a little bit of our future. We do plan on expanding across the entire continent of Africa. We believe Africa has a lot of untapped potential, and you guys are extremely blessed to be able to enroll at Melsoft Academy in its second year. You're extremely, extremely blessed, and you should grab that opportunity with both hands. Okay, so in terms of our team, like I mentioned, our team is very young. We currently have, oh, before I go on, or to answer Jean, do we organize work in America? So not at the moment, not at the moment. And the reason is most of our developers right now don't have enough experience to be able to be shipped to America. Since we just started and most of our developers are juniors, America is not looking for junior level talent. They're looking more for seniors. So after 2-3 years, once you guys have the right work experience, that is exactly the goal. And the beauty is our second co-founder, as you can see on this screen, we have two co-founders, myself, Larreth, and my brother, Loris. Loris is actually fully based in America, in Minnesota. So that is our goal. We are tempted to start offering jobs to other people that don't graduate our bootcamp, but we know that that could dilute our focus a little bit. So we would rather just, for now, concentrate on making you guys the best developers that you possibly can be. To answer Cananelo's question, what about layoffs in America? Layoffs are everywhere. Layoffs are everywhere. So the thing about layoffs is that before COVID, a lot of companies had big budgets. And I'm sure you know we were in a huge bubble, especially in tech. We had a massive bubble where companies would get funded based on an idea, right? And when COVID happened, the market corrected itself and companies lost big budgets that they had. So the first things, what happens normally when a company loses, I mean, when an economy goes bad in a company, right, is layoffs. It's the most easiest way to cut costs. So layoffs happened, but the people that were laid off were not the good developers, because there is still need for developers. It's just that now companies are a little bit more strict on who they hire. They would rather wait until they get the right candidate because of the budget constraints, as opposed to before COVID when they had the money, they'll just hire anyone and everyone. So I think market crashes are great opportunities. There's no better time to break into an industry than during a crisis, because there are a lot of problems that need to be solved. But the key is you need to be good enough. You need to be good enough. That's what, okay. Have you thought about looking into bursaries for people that can't afford the bootcamp? Yes, we have. We are trying. We're trying. And last month, we actually awarded 3 scholarships for those that were good enough that couldn't afford. And this month, we also gave out 9 scholarships. 9. So when the companies that are funding are there, or organizations that are there to fund, we will definitely consider. Okay. So please keep the questions coming. Like I said, I want to make this as interactive as possible. Yeah. In terms of our team, 16 is the size of our team, including contractors. It's a very small team. Best believe everyone in the team is working very hard. Tinashe will tell you that for a fact. And it's an amazing team to get into, especially if you're young. I wish I had found a company like Melsoft, but then I started one. Okay. Yeah, average age 25. Like I said, it's a very young team, so ideas are fresh. We are always moving really, really quickly. We don't believe in burnout. We believe in getting things done. And we've got more than 30 years of combined experience. So in that picture, you see Those are some of our staff members as well as some of our students. Nontando is there. Mamelo is there. Who's that? Tabile. And yeah, so that's our team and some of our students. Okay, taking the questions. Can you learn remotely? Absolutely, 100%. Majority of our students, we have never met them in person. So you can definitely take it remotely. How do you apply for scholarships? Is there a cutoff time for next year? At the moment, we don't have. So just keep an eye on our social media. We will announce when there is a scholarship available, mostly on social media. Okay, cool. Then this is just a little explanation on what's in demand currently. So if you look on the right side, when it comes to the world's top 25 most valuable brands, is there anyone that can type in the chat what they see is a common trend on the world's most valuable companies? Anyone on the chat? Just the first person to type something. I'm sure you recognize some of the faces on that, some of the logos. Oh, Yamukelo says America. Oh, Yamukelo is actually on the call. Yamukelo is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, definitely one of the best talents we've ever produced out of this boot camp. Definitely one of the best. Struggling on where to place you, Yamu. Like, I'm like, you have no idea. I think there's no day in a dev meeting at Melsoft that your name doesn't get brought up. I'm telling you now. Okay. Can you wait? Okay, so yes, some of you guys are saying America, some are saying USA, some are saying China, but the main trend here is that 80% of the most valuable companies in the world are tech companies, and the remaining ones are tech-enabled companies. I mean, you know your Amazons, you know your Apples, you know your Googles, fine. Then you've got Walmart, which is a retail outlet in America, but it's largely tech-enabled. If you walk into Walmart, Loris will tell you, walk into Walmart today, it's literally, yes, it's a shop, it's game, right? But there's so much technology that moves that company today. So, and then if you look on the left-hand side, if you look at the growth, the anticipated growth of digital transformation, you can see that by 2030, which is 6 years from now, time is flying, guys. COVID was 5 years ago. Can you imagine? Right? 4 or 5 years ago. But basically, you can see that the IT industry or technology in general is on the rise and it's not going anywhere. So if you enter the IT industry, you are guaranteed to be fine. You're guaranteed to be okay, right? Tech is not going anywhere. I'm sure you will all agree. Everything is going digital now. The best time to get into technology was 1995 when the internet was just coming to life. The second best time is now. If you don't move now and you're not yet in IT, or you own a business and your business is not IT enabled, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your life? Especially now with AI on the way, right? So IT is an industry that's here to stay. Get into it now, get into it as soon as you can. And the World Economic Forum, they did a study. I think it's quite controversial organization. Their logo does look a bit sus, if you ask me, but let's not dive into conspiracy theories on this call. But you'll see that on the left-hand side, the top 10 fastest growing jobs, 8 out of 10 of them all involve some sort of technology. Besides, which ones don't have? Agricultural equipment, I guess. No, I guess then one, or in electrical engineering. I mean, sure, but best believe the top 10 fastest growing jobs, you have technology. And if you're on the other side, if you're a cashier or if you're a accountant, a legislator, your job is on the decline, especially now because AI has come into the game and it's come really, really quickly. You need to get into the tech space as soon as you can. So, is a career in tech a safe bet? That's an obvious one. So, I'm going to take a few questions right now. My question is that after doing this meeting, are we going to continue to talk about on WhatsApp? Akona, I don't know if you're speaking to me. Maybe you're speaking to my brother. He does look like my twin, some say. Although I do think he's a lot more handsome than I am. But yeah, I don't think we were chatting. Delayed question. What do you mean you don't believe in burnout? Well, I don't believe in burnout. I don't believe in burnout. I believe in done or not done. I believe in cause and effect or and effect. I believe in a binary world where something is either finished or not finished. I don't believe in burnout. I don't believe in it. I think people are lazy and they use burnout as an excuse to say, oh, I can't do my tasks because I'm burnt out. What? You're burnt out. Are you telling me that if someone put a gun to your parents' head and said, work and do this work, you'd be like, no, I'm currently burnt out. I don't think I can work. I don't think so. I think you lack motivation and you lack discipline. I don't believe in burnout. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm a little bit toxic. With your experience in tech, which tech careers do you foresee taking a downward trajectory in terms of demand? I think this is quite, I'm going to be brutally honest. I think junior developers are in trouble. And I'll explain why. Imagine I own a school that generates junior developers, and I'm saying junior developers are in trouble. Let me explain what I mean and how you can, avoid the trouble. So the thing now is that we have AI now, we have GitHub Copilot and ChatGPT and all these other large language models that do the work that juniors used to do, right? So traditionally, if you finished a degree, you would get employed as a junior and you would do routine, small, little mundane things that are now being done by AI. So I think we will see the demand for junior developers drastically fall, right? So what does this mean for you as a junior? What do you need to do to make sure that you don't get replaced? You need to be so good at using AI. That's my thing. You have to be brilliant. You have to be the best at using AI in your day-to-day workflow. That's how you're going to stand out. If you're a junior dev today and you don't use AI on a daily basis, I'm not talking about when you have a problem or once in a while. If you don't use AI every single day, you are in trouble. You are in huge trouble because best believe Aiden is using Poe.com for everything and he will kill you. So that's one way you need to curb it. You need to use AI in everything that you do. And secondly, you need to get something like a cloud certification, right? The thing about cloud is it's in such great demand and there's not enough talent for it. You see, even Amazon now has launched a skill center because they're trying to get more and more people into the cloud. So if you can tie your dev skills with cloud, then you become more presentable. So that's why you're at Melsoft, because our curriculum is always changing. We're always updating it. We're always adding things that are relevant to today's needs in the industry. And cloud is one thing that we've just added as well. Okay, I hope I didn't scare you. And then, hi, Larreth. If I may ask, is there a possibility where one could come to the campus for more insight and knowledge? I mean, sure, I guess. Just speak to Loris or Kinelwe or Theo. I don't know who's assisting you, and then yeah, sure. If you want to chat to me, sure, we can make something happen. Um, and your knowledge on mental health, because burnout is a much bigger issue than just laziness. Maybe that's just me. I mean, like I said, I think I'm a little bit toxic because for me, I'm extremely motivated. I'm extremely driven. I do feel burnt out sometimes. I feel tired and I don't want to work and I don't want to open my laptop, but I have responsibilities. So for me, it's not about how I feel. I just need to do what I need to do. And I think that if everyone had that sort of a mindset, the world would move a lot better. That's just me though. I mean, like I said, maybe I'm toxic, but yeah. How long does it typically take to receive a response regarding acceptance? So it takes about 1 to 2 weeks from applying to if you haven't gotten your acceptance letter a week or two after your interview, then please do send an email because you're supposed to get an acceptance letter within a week of your interview. Cool. Thank you guys for the questions. Please do keep bringing them. Mosa, sometimes I'm joking, sometimes I'm just playing. But with this burnout, I'm really on the other side. I don't believe in it. I really don't. I don't believe in burnout. Okay. So let's talk about salaries and money, right? I mean, the main reason, the biggest reason why we all start careers is because we want to make an income. So what can you expect as a junior dev? Now, this study was done by Offerzen, and Offerzen do an incredible job at these developer salaries. They survey all the companies or as many companies as they can get, and they project a junior level dev with 0 to 2 years experience to make an average of 24, 25K, depending on the city. But I want to clarify something. If you don't have a computer science degree, right, and you graduate this boot camp, don't expect to make 20, 25K straight out of the bat. Don't expect that. You will be very disappointed because the thing now is, yes, you have a bootcamp certification, and yes, you went to Melsoft and all these amazing things that you did, but you're competing with people that have degrees. You're competing with people that have degrees from WITS or UCT, right? So typically, companies will not pay you a lot in your first year. So don't think that this is a get rich quick career. I finished this boot camp 6 months, boom, 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 I'm making 20K. That's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you. It's very rare. It does happen, but it's quite rare. So, my advice to you is in your first year in tech, take whatever you get because what you need now is experience. You need experience. Remember, if you are a matric, let's say you just finished matric, you're 19, and your friends have gone for university, they're going to spend 4 years in university, and you're going to spend 1 year in this boot camp, right? Once you're done in this boot camp, you have 3 years to really max out your salary whilst your partners or your age mates are still in school. By the time these people finish school, then they start, let's say they immediately finish from UCT, then they jump into these 20, 25K salaries. You have 3 years of experience. And 3 years of experience, you're looking at 30, 35, 40, 45K per month if you're really, really good. So your first year, you're gonna eat dirt. My first job, I was making 6,000 a month. My first job. I was on a podcast. If you haven't watched my podcast, do check it out. It's called The Truth Talk. This is the part where I insert a shameless plug. Please check out my podcast. I need views, right? I was on a podcast with Matthew, He's the owner of Startup Club South Africa. Literally, if you're in the startup ecosystem, you know about Matthew. And he was saying for the first 19 months in his career, he was making 3,000 a month. He wasn't making nothing. So get your first offer, accept, because in this industry, the most valuable asset that anyone has is experience. So just focus on getting that, stack up your experience as much as you can. Right. Then in America, obviously the salaries are a lot higher. As you can see, juniors can make 85K, mid-level 100K, seniors 120. Some seniors make 250, some make 300, some make 350. It all depends on how good you are. That's the beauty of this industry. Your earning potential is only limited as to how good you are as a person. So if you are really, really good and you're solving problems left, right, and center, companies will pay you handsomely for that. Okay. But if you're after money, if you want to make a lot of money, I'll also recommend other careers on the next few slides. Just to answer Mosa, I understand what you're saying with the mental health. Yeah, I mean, I have thought about it. Maybe I do come across as insensitive, I think. But yeah, I guess sure. The thing about tech is that the okay, let me just mute. The thing about tech is that it's a very tough industry, right? Like for example, last night we needed to build a website in a night, and we did it successfully, and we built an amazing website. So yes, mental health is important. I am a very strong advocate for it as well. But I think for me personally, this is just me. Like I said, I'm not a mental health expert. I'm a software developer and I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I know. I just believe in getting things done. Whether if you feel bad today and you have a responsibility, I just believe in getting things done. That's just my approach. Yeah, that's just my approach. If someone is paying me 100,000 to get work done, I don't go to them and say, I'm sorry, I can't do the job because I feel tired. That's not me. And I don't think that's a very healthy attitude. But there are things like depression and anxiety. I mean, let's say you lost a loved one, that makes sense. But you're tired, so you're not gonna do the work because you're tired. How are you gonna get paid a lot? There are people like me that will do the work regardless, and you're in a competition. So as long as you have that mindset of you are competing with other people like me that are hungry and determined, and you're tired, good luck. Sorry if I sound insensitive, Mosa. I'm just a bit of a realist sometimes. Okay, cool. Enough about depressing stuff, Mosa, please. Okay, so like I was mentioning, when it comes to careers, right? So getting a job is great. It's great. If you personally want to get a job and you want to be safe, you want a safe, steady paycheck, climb the career ladder, that's fine, right? If you learn how to code, you've got a few options on the left, sorry. You can be a web developer that works on the front or the back. This is through our course. You can be a mobile app developer through our course, our software engineering course, because you do learn React, and for you to pick up React Native after that is a bit easier. You can be a data scientist, not straight out of the bat through our course, although we are launching data science bootcamp in the next few months. You can be a cybersecurity analyst, which is one industry that is extremely in demand, like huge demand right now. Cybersecurity. the cyber crime in South Africa alone is at an all-time high. My goodness, it's so high. So right now is a very good time for you to get into cybersecurity. Right now. I don't know if you've ever noticed this scam where you lose 1 rand or 5 rand or 10 rand in your bank account. You don't notice it, then you only see it after a year when you're reconciling. Those are the kind of things that are going on right now. So cybersecurity is hot. Then you can be a UI UX designer. So we do have that bootcamp. It's another in-demand path, career path. The thing about UI UX is you create apps and websites, but you don't write any code at all. There's no code. You're just designing things. You're making things look beautiful, and you're making things you're making things easier for your users. It's such a niche skill that not many people know about, right? So if you're someone who wants to be involved in tech, but you don't like coding, UI UX is a big one. Okay. Then you can be an IT consultant where you work for a consulting company like McKinsey or Bain or which consulting companies do you have? Deloitte, I guess, where you just paid for your knowledge. That's another job role that you can take. There are a lot more. There are a lot more like project manager, product owner, software tester. There are so many potential job opportunities in the tech space. You have to pick one and be an expert in it, right? However, if you are a bit crazy or you're not wired like the rest of us, you're not normal, and maybe you feel like you can do a lot more than a job, and you're ambitious and you're hungry and you don't believe in burnout, because if you believe in burnout and you're an entrepreneur, it's not gonna work. These are the other pathways. Personally, I don't recommend entrepreneurship. As an entrepreneur myself, I do not recommend it. It's so difficult. So you can be a startup founder where you just build one app, right? You solve a problem and then you sell your solution to a lot of people. Startups are big. Like just build a product, sell it to as many people as you can. That's a great career path with a lot of support also in South Africa for entrepreneurs. You can be a freelancer where you have that dream lifestyle of working from the beach or working remotely wherever you want to work, and you've got a few clients. Maybe you've got a few clients in the UK or in the US that don't really care about where you are. They just want you to get the work done. That's a very attractive career path. I've personally been a freelancer for some time and I enjoyed it a lot, right? You can be a tech mentor or a coach like myself also, where you get some experience and then you share your experience with others. And it's always quite fulfilling to mentor and to coach others. Then you can be a content creator or tech influencer like myself again. So on this list, I'm like 3 things out of 5, 4 things out of 5. No wonder why I'm burnt out, right? Trying too many things. But yeah, tech content creators are in great demand. There's not many people that are tech content creators, especially if you're female. There's not many female people in tech. So if you can actually start creating content and share your journey with as many people as you can on platforms like TikTok, YouTube, you can get a great career from just that if you are good in front of the camera, right? And then lastly, you can be a plugin developer where you just build a software that integrates with other softwares and you get paid for it. So these are just 20% of the potential career paths that you can take in IT. There are so many. Once you get into IT, you will never ever struggle to get a job. Your biggest hurdle will normally be at the beginning. that's when you have no experience, because no one knows you, no one cares about you, you can't offer companies much value. So your biggest struggle is when you're just starting out. And that's why Melsoft Academy is the best place, because we literally guarantee your success at the beginning, so that by the time you've got 1-2 years experience, you don't even need us. Our alumni, sometimes that we struggle to reach them because they're so busy and they're crushing it in the world. So yeah, I'm gonna take this time to answer some questions. After this session, what's next? Are we gonna be called for interviews? Because I'm also interested to join the organization. Mabel, you need to apply. Please start by applying. Loris or someone, please just drop the link to apply if you haven't applied. Then you'll be required to do an aptitude test. Then if you pass the aptitude test, you'll be required to do the interview. Then if you pass the interview, you'll get an acceptance letter. When is the UI UX design bootcamp starting? The next class starts on the 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th of August, 2024. Okay, then I see Asipe and Mabel. You guys want to come tomorrow? Yeah, so Loris will contact you. You can definitely come through. Tomorrow I might not be around, but Friday, yeah, just chat to Loris, and yeah, I'll certainly meet you guys in Rosebank. Then what after this session, what's next after this? Like, I mean, when can we start? Oh, so okay, so if you have applied and you're accepted, classes for the next bootcamp start on the 5th of August. Okay. For UI UX, many companies demand 1 to 2 years experience in coding. So how do we bridge the gap between the two? Companies that require their designers to have coding skills, it's either they're trying to weed out people, or maybe the person that wrote that job requirement is not really sure of what they're asking for. Because yes, it's good for a UI UX designer to understand code. It's good, but you don't need experience. You don't need to have worked as a developer for you to be a UI UX designer. That's just that. It's not. How can I put this? Let's say you're building a house, and you're a painter. Your job is to paint the house. It would be good for you to understand how to lay the bricks and stuff, but you don't need to have worked as a bricklayer for 2 years for you to be a good painter. So for you to bridge that gap, I would say apply still without that experience. Just make sure that your portfolio is amazing. Amazing. We had these two guys come to us, Dirk and Nelson. They came to us, no experience. They just did some course on UI UX design, and all they gave us was a portfolio. And we were like, wow, incredible portfolio. Then when we invited them for a chat, personality was great, and they are both in. So you don't need experience in coding. You need a great portfolio. Just have an undeniable portfolio, and companies will be like, okay, fine, let's give you a chance. Then once you get in, whatever they pay you, just take it for the first opportunity and blow them away in that job. Then 1 year later, when you've got the experience, go back and renegotiate your contract with that employer. If you've been doing a great job, they will not want to lose you. Right? If you go to a company and say, I'm gonna go and look for another job, and then they're like, okay, fine, bye, then it means that you failed to make yourself a valuable asset to that company. A company should fight to keep you. Okay. And then cool, there's links from Aiden. Are you able to tell us any alumni success journeys, what they have achieved since being in the bootcamp? Yes, I can. There is a section of alumni. However, like I mentioned, most of the people that graduate, most of the people that work at Melsoft Academy are our alumni. So Just from that only, you've got Gladman, you've got Aiden, you've got Mamelo, you've got Nelisi, you've got Kinelwe. That's literally just 5 people that did our bootcamp and are in our company and are doing amazing things. Literally, go on our social media. I think right now, if you follow us, you should see us all the time. That's Melsoft Academy students doing that. Melsoft Academy is powered by its students. It's not powered by external people. It's its own students. So if you see us grow and you see us do amazing things, it's our students that are doing the work. That's the biggest alumni that we can share. We do have others like YOLO, but we'll go to that alumni section a little bit in the next few slides. We'll be there. Okay. Now as we are here taking this bootcamp, okay, I'm sure you guys are chatting. Are newbies allowed to start? Yes, newbies are very much welcome, but you do need to have computer literacy skills. Please, we need those. You need to have your own laptop, your own internet connection, and ideally you need to have metric, unless you're special case, but you need metric. Are there any fees? I'll go through the fees just now as well. And then how will I access the bootcamp? Will it be added? Yes, Nikiwe, it will be added by the 5th. Everything should be in place for you. Cool. Thank you, guys. Love the questions. So how does it work? Easy. I've mentioned this. You start by learning. You spend 6 to 12 months learning. So for absolute beginners, my recommendation is budget 12 months. Don't 6 months. If you're new. Because what happens is at Melsoft is sometimes we in fact, a lot of the times we have people that have computer science degrees that are in our boot camps, right? That are looking for exposure and the internship. So some students start comparing themselves to these rock stars that have 3 years of experience already. Just focus on your own race. Run your own lane. Don't listen to what others are doing. If you see someone who's doing better than you, it is a great opportunity for you to learn from that person as much as you can. Don't compare and then get discouraged to say, oh, this person has it all figured out. Why am I struggling, right? So budget 12 months. 12 months should be enough. If you're a full-time student and you're putting in 8 hours a day and you don't make it in 12 months, oh, I don't know what to say. How do you not make it in 12 months? If you don't make it in 12 months, it simply means you are not putting in the work. And that's the thing about Melsoft or any school in general. We can give you a Harvard curriculum and we can give you the best videos and we can give you the best mentors. But if you, as the student, you yourself are not willing to put in the work, then you're not going to succeed. At the end of the day, it's all up to you as a student. Right. And then once you're done with the internship, it's full-time job. So we don't guarantee full-time jobs, but we can assist you with getting one. And it's always easy once you get to internship level. The graduation from intern to full-time job is pretty much automatic. If you know your stuff, it's always like that. If you're good enough. I think all besides 1 or 2 people that interned at Melsoft, they all end up getting full-time contracts. So yeah, I hope you guys are good enough to get into Melsoft because we do need as many people as possible. I don't have computer literacy. Would that be a disadvantage? Yes, it would be a terrible disadvantage. I'll advise you to spend some time just learning how to use browsers, how to use Chrome, basic computer literacy. What is RAM? What is ROM? All these things before you start a coding bootcamp. Because if you don't understand those things, there's no way you're going to install Node.js and build an AI chatbot later down the line. You'll struggle. for sure. Rounded off, how much is the total estimation of the fees for these 12 months? Okay, I'm just about to get to the fees section just now. How do you grade students? So Melsoft Academy is a project-based bootcamp. That's the key thing about us. And why are we obsessed with projects? In tech, you are only as good as your projects, right? If you can build something and your solution works, you are a developer already. So our main focus is on these things that we call capstone projects, and I'll explain them in more detail on the next slide. That's how we grade you. You need to do very well in your capstone projects. And recently, we've also introduced exams because we had a few cases where some students would cheat, or they'll go and look on a graduate's GitHub profile and download all their code and then just change the colors, tweak this, tweak that, submit, get 90%. Then when it's time for them to go to the job interview, totally get brutally murdered. So I want to get another thing very clear, which some people have a misconception of. When you say guaranteed internship, what do we actually mean? We have industry partners that are looking for you, and we will share your CV with them. And based on our relationship with those people, they will invite you for assessment. Can you believe that? That a company that wants to hire you will actually want to assess you before they hire you. Can you believe that? Of course, right? So if you go to the interview, we will prepare you, we'll give you all the material, you have a recommendation, referral, pretty much just go there and do what you're doing in the bootcamp and you'll be fine, right? But if you have been cheating throughout the bootcamp, then you get there to the end, then they ask you questions like, what is an object? Or what is an array? And you can't answer them, then it's very terrible. You do, by cheating your way through the bootcamp, you're doing us a very big disservice, and you are doing damage to the other students as well that are in the course. So please don't cheat on your projects. I beg you, please don't cheat. We'll catch you anyways. And now, like to answer to Melo's question, we do have exams now. So everything is online. We'll do the exams online. If you can't pass those exams, you don't move on to the next level. So budget 6 to 12 months to go through everything thoroughly. I don't have a computer now. What will happen? Please get a laptop, because if you don't have a laptop, then you won't be able to do the course because everything is online. You need a laptop. We can also assist with that if you need help. Yeah, so also that answers Mabel. Yes, you can't do it without a laptop. Are the classes remote or in class? So the classes are fully remote, and 1 day a week, if you're in Johannesburg, you can come to the campus and sit with your mentors, sit with the devs, and get help in person 1 day a week. Or you can opt for our full-time on-site option, where you can come to the campus every single day and pretty much be a junior dev, because you'll be around the devs and everything on a full-time basis. So that's another option. Cool. I'm interested in knowing more about the projects. Okay, we'll get there just now. Sorry, Larreth, I'm always like this. If I could have an idea of what you just said about computer literacy issue, can I risk and start a bootcamp? Let's just go through the interview, book a call with Loris or with me. Then let's see where your computer skills are. But ideally, you need to understand things like I was saying, how to create a folder, how to structure files inside the folder, how to create files, the basics. These are like the basics of IT. So yeah, just get on a call with any one of us and we can try and see where you are. But if you're not strong on computer literacy, chances are very high that you'll also struggle in the boot camp. If the person passes exams online but no computer literacy, can there be a chance for them? No. No. How many of your female graduates were placed in jobs, especially ones without a tech background? We're not keeping this data yet. I think we need to start being more on the data, but we do have Melo, that's one. We have Kinelo, that's two. I don't know if I'm missing any more names, but we do have a few females that were placed without tech backgrounds. Most of the people that come to Melsoft come without tech backgrounds. So, like I said, it all boils down to you. And right now, there is a very big demand for female devs because there are not as many. There are not as many female devs out there, especially good ones. So if you're good enough and you're a female, then the sky is the limit for you, especially in South Africa. The sky is the limit for you. Okay, cool. I hope I'm answering your questions. And now we've gone past the hour mark. We were supposed to finish in an hour. So I'll just quickly go through the remaining slides. So how you learn. So our bootcamp is divided into levels, and you start by learning new concepts. There are videos and notes that you need to read and study. And during this level, there are small little quizzes that you need to take just to test to see if you're actually going through and consuming the content. Then there are small little exercises and coding challenges. And once a week or twice a week, I think it's now twice a week. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's now twice a week. There are weekly meetings with the mentor and weekly lectures. So lectures are open to everyone. For example, today we had an introduction to JavaScript lecture with Tinashe, where everyone in the bootcamp can just come and sit and attend the lecture. Then once a week in your cohort, you have these weekly meetings where you sit together as people that, let's say you're on level 3, you're all on level 3, you sit on level 3 and you just discuss level 3, right? So you've got those two options available. Then when it comes to mentorship, you have the ability to reach out to a mentor when you need help. Now, I also want to clarify something when it comes to mentorship. Your mentor is not your study buddy, guys, please. Your mentor is not your AI chatbot or someone that you can just ask anytime for answers to your problems. Mentors are there to guide you to walk in the right direction. So if you have a problem and you need help, you need to submit just a little explanation of the problem that you're facing and what you've currently done so far to solve your problem. Then your mentor will be there to guide you in the right direction to say, okay, try A, B, C, D, or do A, B, C, D. Mentors are not there to do the work for you, because once they start doing the work for you, then you're not learning, right? Learning comes in those moments when you are uncomfortable. That's when you're learning. So embrace being uncomfortable as much as you can. Embrace the imposter syndrome. It's important. Okay. Then you've got individual and group capstone projects. So these capstone projects are that's what we're all about. That's what we're big on. Sometimes you need to do individual projects. Sometimes you need to do pair projects. Sometimes you need to work in groups of 4 or 5. And you get to understand the dynamics of working in a team exactly the way it is in the real world. So to answer, I think it was Tumelo's question or someone's question, what kind of projects that we do, it was Tiseto. In software engineering, you've got e-commerce sites, shopping carts, you've got ticket booking station sites, you've got sign-up pages, you've got regular website pages. Then there's the final level projects are an AI chatbot, which Yamukelo just did. If someone can just drop a link to Yamukelo's AI chatbot project in the group, that would be really, really amazing, please. And you also have a crypto dashboard. If you can also drop that link to those projects, that would be great. So those are some of the projects that you get to do. Then for cybersecurity, most of it is hacking. You need to actually hack on banks, but it's obviously it's dummy stuff, right? It's not a real bank. You're not gonna hack into ABSA today and then see yourself with 9 figures and then you just quit the boot camp. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, but you get to practice hacking, and then practice defending those attacks. So cybersecurity is exciting. Cybersecurity is where it's at right now. I'm telling you guys, I wish I could go back to cybersecurity right now for me. That's why I'm also enrolling. So if you're enrolling in the August cohort, you and I are going to be classmates. Isn't that cool? You get to, if you're enrolling for August cohort cybersecurity, I'm going to be in class, and I'm a very competitive student. Yeah, and then you've got project grading and feedback. So once you're done with the project, you get your marks and you get feedback on where you can get better. So the way it's structured now, if you fail to move through a certain level, we don't allow you to continue. You have to retake that same level, because there are certain concepts that you cannot fail on. If you don't master JavaScript, for example, you're not going to do anything worthwhile in React or Node. So it makes no sense for us to say, okay, you can continue when you failed on a certain level. That's why it's so important for you to have patience. It's so important for you to run your own race. If you are, let's say you are delaying and you're not moving on to the next level, and maybe your friends or people that you started with are now on that next level, it's so important for you to not compare yourself to them and run your own race. Okay, it's so important for you to be patient in this thing. You need a lot of patience. I can give you a success story of Nigel. He's on this call. Nigel, amazing guy. So with Nigel, he had so many challenges, guys. I'm telling you, from the date he started to where he is now, he had all the challenges you can possibly encounter: laptop failure or battery exploding, screen dropping, struggling to grasp concepts and all these things. But he just kept pushing, Every time I would meet him, hey Nigel, how are things going? He just kept pushing, he just kept going, slowly but surely. And now he's just finished level 10, like today. He's just finished it. He's got his API key. He did his AI chatbot. I wish everyone could learn from that and replicate that, because Nigel is the exemplification of what patience can do. And his name was being mentioned in the office today. I was like, hey, checking out Nigel. Like, yeah. So be patient. Be patient. Just run your own race. Okay. Cool. Do all students work on the same projects, and after graduation, do we all have the same portfolio? The answer is yes. And that's a very good question, T said. So you guys work on the same projects, and you kind of do have the same portfolio, in the sense that you're working on the same projects, right? Like, let's say it's an AI chatbot, you all have AI chatbots. But what's different is that you get to style them in your own way, and you're allowed to add unique caveats to your own projects as much as you want to. And whilst we're on that, if you truly want to stand out, do projects outside of class. That's what makes a lot of people stand out even more. Do projects outside of class. Like, for example, with Aiden, he used to do this thing where he could just go on the Time Bank website and then redesign it, right? And that will grab a lot of people's attention. Also, who else did projects outside of class? Tando did this thing where he started his own dev shop, and now he's releasing projects for other real companies. that is the stuff that really sets you apart, right? So yeah, thanks, Loris, for sharing that link to Yamu's chatbot. Please sign up and use it, guys. It's an absolute amazing piece of tech. Well done, Yamu. Well done on that. Okay, cool. So, yes, Akona. Okay, I think you're supposed to say something. I can't hear you. All right. Okay. I think there's a question on TikTok. Just want to get that. Okay, it's not a question. I'll just ignore that. Okay, cool. So in terms of our boot camps, these are the three that we have. We've got software engineering, we've got cybersecurity, and UI UX design. And in terms of the fees, for those of you that were asking for fees, software engineering and cybersecurity, the fees is 40,000 for 6 months or 12 months, depending on the track that you choose. Or you can pay in monthly installments of 8,000 a month for 6 months. And if you need payment plans, we are open to negotiation on payment plans. So those are the costs for those two. And then for UI UX design, it's 20K, or you can pay 6K per month on those 3 months. Is that correct, Loris? Loris, please just confirm for me while I answer the questions. Are the certifications to be gained? Yes. So for software engineering, if you want to write exams, we've got some international JavaScript exams as well as AWS exams. So software engineering has cloud to it, right? Like I was mentioning earlier, that we really, really want to be continuously updating our curriculum to match what the industry wants. And right now, industry is demanding cloud. So in software engineering, you also do finish with AWS Cloud Practitioner certification, right? In terms of domestic accreditation, we are still working on that. If you do software engineering only, not for cyber and for UI UX. So if you finish our course, then by the time we receive domestic accreditation, you'll be able to write NQF5 exams at no extra cost. All you need is just to pay for the exam fees that go to the government. So we're trying to give you as much value as we can on the subscription that you give to us, right? Cool. Thank you, Loris, for confirming. Then we're almost done. To wrap up, we believe in atomic habits. So what I mean by atomic habits, or what we mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the book around if you haven't read it. In this field of software engineering, you get better. If you get better 1% every day, by the end of the year, you will be on another level. So your focus should always be to get a little bit better every day. Software engineering or cybersecurity or UI UX design or tech in general is not a skill that you can binge watch like you're watching Netflix. To say the whole week you're not doing anything, you're just chilling, you're partying, hanging out with friends. Then you go on Saturday and you're like, okay, I'm gonna study. It doesn't work like that, because you start studying on that weekend, you're gonna get clapped 1, 2, 3, you leave it, and before you know it, in a week, you only studied for an hour. It's much better for you to study 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day consistently over a long period of time. That's how you succeed. This game needs patience. If you are impatient and you think you're gonna get rich quick, or you're gonna do a course quickly for 6 months and get a job quickly, and then you don't put in the work, this software is not for you. Maybe you should try forex trading. Maybe you should try that, because I hear people are making a lot of money in forex. If you watch those Instagram influencers, right? Maybe you should try that. But if you want this, you need to be patient, you need to work hard, and you need to know that at the end of it, after a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're set for life. For me right now, if I was to lose everything and you threw me in a desert in Qatar, as long as I have water, just give me a week, I'll be building websites and making an income. The thing about a skill is you can't take it away. So be patient, be very patient. Everything will pay off until the end. Okay. Is the UI UX course SAQA accredited? Not yet, although we do have that in the works as well. We definitely do have accreditation for UI UX in the works. It is in the works, but not yet. And for UI UX, it'll be NQF4, because they don't have an NQF5 certification. We couldn't find it. How many credits will NQF have? It'll have 120 credits. So it'll be a full qualification for NQF. Cool. Yeah. Then that's pretty much it. If you haven't checked out our online learning platform, please do check it out. You can register for free and take some of the courses for free. So like I mentioned, we've got the online lessons, we've got social networking features. It's very much community based. We've got a Discord server where we do all our chatting, and a lot of students create WhatsApp groups and chat on the side. You can download our app on web and Android, or you can also put it on iOS. You can add it to your home screen. Then we also have an AI chatbot. We've got flexible learning. If you are someone who's working and maybe you just want to do this on a self-paced basis, then we have a lot of in-person and online events. These are very much gold, especially in-person Johannesburg, or even online webinars. It's a great chance for you to meet people that are already where they want to be, where you want to be. It's an incredible opportunity. Whenever we throw an event, please come. Events are free for students, or they've got a ticket price of like 70 Rand or something very small, just to weed out those that are serious, right? But please do come for events. Events are gold, 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 gold. All right. And then, like I mentioned, the international accreditation is in place. So you've got your AWS, you've got your international JavaScript exams. Then you also have CompTIA and Cisco. We've got those two for cybersecurity as well. So you do get international certifications that are recognized, whether you go to the UK, you go to America, you go to Australia, wherever you go. Everyone knows AWS, everyone knows Cisco, everyone knows CompTIA. No one really knows the NQF5, but it's also important. We know that it's also very important to have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I'll just leave the floor to questions as we just gloss on this page of reviews. So anyone with any question, anything that you guys would like to ask, please do let me know. You can also unmute yourself if you have a question. Okay, Tiseto.
Hi, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So yeah, so I just want to hear your thoughts on the project, right? So if we work on projects and we're all working on the same project, what do you think are the chances of getting a job if we're all applying at the same place and we have pretty much the same project?
Okay, Do you mean you applying at the same place as Melsoft students, as Melsoft
Yes. Let's say I'm a Melsoft student
Mhm.
and I go through the course and we work on the same project with my classmates, whatever, and then we apply for the same post at the same company, right? What do you think the chances are of me getting a job? It's pretty much competitive. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's quite competitive. So typically, if I ask for your CV and I send it to someone,
yeah,
yes, you will be competing with maybe 3 people because we always send the CVs in threes. But you just have to make yourself stand out. Make yourself stand out. So throughout the course, you'll always be hearing me saying stuff like do projects outside, attend events, all these things, create content, do your best to make yourself stand out because your projects might be the same, but other companies will actually inspect your code. They'll inspect your GitHub and then they'll see things that are very, 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 very different. So you might have the same project, as in this is an AI chatbot and this one's an AI chatbot, but it will definitely look very, very different on the front, and it will also look very, very different on the code. So that's where you need to differentiate yourself and make sure that you've got nice design and then you also have well-structured, well-commented, well-documented code.
oh, okay, cool. So one last question. I just want to find out. So if we're working on a project, is it like a follow-on tutorial? Or how is it? I'm just trying to get the idea because I know with some boot camps you'll do a follow-on tutorial. Maybe you're doing a landing page. It's kind of like a follow-on tutorial. So I think when you do it that way, it's not going to be different. Yeah, you need to stand out, like you say. But
Yeah. No, the majority of projects, you learn to do them from scratch all the time. So we don't have those long projects where you're just building one thing until you get to the end. You're building many small little things during the course, during the bootcamp.
okay.
Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? Akona, you still have your hand up. Does Mr. Tinashe have any advice to optimize cybersecurity success? Tinashe, that one's for you.
Okay, so to optimize success in cybersecurity, I'm not exactly quite sure in the context of employment or what exactly. I'm just gonna toss it all out in the room. So for cybersecurity success, so first things first, just like software engineering, you need to have a portfolio. However, it's a little different for cybersecurity. Your portfolio is actually held up by CTFs. So we do a whole lot of CTFs in cybersecurity. So when you actually join the bootcamp, after we look at computer networks and so on, and we start getting into offensive security, that's when we actually start building on top of those CTFs. So the idea of CTFs, it's where we go to a website called Hack the Box. So Hack the Box supplies us with some vulnerable websites in this case. Some of them, they are normally updated based on security trends, for instance, like the CrowdStrike issue that happened recently, that little issue. There's a new machine for that. So we constantly have these new PCs that they allow us to test on. And the idea is every time you're able to hack into something and you're able to draft out a proper report and a proper repair for it, Hack the Box is able to implement you points on top of your portfolio, which will give you the highest success the day you're applying for a job. Because when you take your resume, it normally goes together with that portfolio as well. So that'll give you that plus, which highlights to your employer that you are great in your offensive security, you're able to perform proper audits, you're able to perform proper patching, and so on and so on. So that is one big thing that you will always learn when you're within this in this boot camp. So we'll always perform those CTFs, which will give you the highest success the day you are on the job. I hope I've answered your question.
Very comprehensive. Thanks, Tinashe. Njabulo.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. My question is, how do you guys set yourself apart from other boot camps? Because just as much as we're competing amongst each other, we'll also be competing with other people who've graduated from other boot camps.
Yeah, so we're very much aware of the competition or the other boot camps that are out there and what their curriculums look like and how they operate. So our differentiation is mostly in how we are more project-based, project-oriented, and how we throw you into the deep end when it comes to building stuff. That's our biggest differentiator. We don't ask you to write tests, although yes, of course, there are exams now, but your success is going to be determined mostly on your projects. And we also have a very small cohort size, right? So you're not just another number. You get a personal mentor that's there for you, that helps you, that guides you. You also get very close access to me. You can book me directly at any time. And then the last one would be the community aspect, where you get to build a lot of stuff with other students or sometimes with volunteers in company projects and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we set ourselves apart. Okay, cool. That are cybersecurity students also at a disadvantage compared to varsity students, given that most universities offer short courses on cybersecurity as well? The answer is no, not at all. Not at all, especially with our curriculum that has Network Plus and Security Plus embedded in it. They don't have that in university. They could have an introduction to cybersecurity course, right? That's fine. But it's not as in-depth and as detailed as our bootcamp. So the stuff that you see in our bootcamp, it's not in universities at all. Tinashe would like to add on.
Okay, just to add on, I myself had cybersecurity incorporated when I was doing information security. The big challenge that universities have is that once you start that module on cybersecurity and on, you'll be given a textbook that was written in the year 1960. So it's nowhere near the trends, most likely. So in our bootcamp, we always have to keep up to industry standards. And I remember mentioning to a student last time, and I say that we always keep our ears as close to the ground as possible. When there is a new zero-day vulnerability, we always make sure that we revisit it. If you're doing this at a university, what is in the textbook is what you're going to learn, and you will keep going like that. So boot camps are always yet to be aligned to industry standards, whereas universities will always keep going with something that someone wrote a PhD on a couple of years ago.
Cool. Thank you, Tinashe. Thank you. For work placements, does it only take place after the course, or if someone has some level of experience, you still submit their CVs on their behalf? So before we used to do that, where we would submit CVs before they finish, and we still do that to a very lesser extent. These days, we would rather really wait for you to finish, at least get to the latter levels before we start getting you out. And we made this mistake where we wanted to really give jobs so much, and we were giving access to internships and opportunities to people that were not fully baked yet, and it backfired very massively. So we would rather make absolute sure that at least get to the later levels before we can start considering. Yeah, because how do you know you were not cheating your way through your degree? I'm just joking, Nikki. I'm just playing. I'm just messing around. I mess around a lot. But yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Or how do you know you didn't edit someone else's degree and make it your own? That's from TikTok. Funny guys. Thanks. Cool. Thank you so much, guys. If there are no more questions, Akona still has their hand up, but it's been up for quite some time. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you got some value. I hope you learned a few things. I hope you're excited about joining Melsoft. Do apply if you haven't applied yet. There was a link shared. I think it's pinned to the chat. Do apply if you haven't applied. If you have an interview, attend your interview and just be confident. Just show that you can communicate and you can solve problems. That's what we're looking for. And yeah, that should be all. Thank you so much. Nikiwe, we have access to USA opportunities, yes, but not yet. Not yet, because our student base and our alumni base does not have the experience yet. So that is still something that is to come. Melsoft is very much a long-term thing. It's a very long-term career option for you. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you on the next open day. Bye.